So this is something that might seem jokey, but it's deadly serious, and that is the idea of quantity over quality in really all creative endeavors, but definitely within graphic design. What's up? This is Joshua. Thank you for joining me. I have a gang load of videos lined up. Never mind the stuff that we're able to produce day in and day out, but I have been going through unreleased stuff and editing it down, as well as going through hours of video captured in classrooms that I think has some really good stuff on it. So in the coming weeks, there's a lot coming out, and I think we will be on a daily schedule. So I hope you enjoy that. This video that you're about to watch is recorded way back in 2018, and it is on this theme of quantity over quality, or what should really be referred to as quantity and quality, but people believe those ideas are mutually exclusive. I do not, though I used to very much be a quality over quantity kind of designer, and interestingly, my work got a million times better when I made that switch to trying to pursue a volume of activities rather than just making one masterpiece at any given time. So this video goes into that. Hopefully it illuminates some stuff. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. And I think that's it. Enjoy. So something I believe in pretty heavily is the idea of quantity over quality. That's a counterintuitive mantra to hold about creative work, and it's not a popular opinion. If you believe in quality over quantity, it requires you to believe that doing multiple things inherently sucks the quality out of something. So if you're a graphic designer, normally you try to come up with your one or two sort of masterpieces. The idea is that by doing anything more than that, you're pulling attention away from the masterpiece. But if you're trying, then you can have quantity and quality. And I think that's the thing that I am really after. They're not mutually exclusive, and in my opinion, sort of cover more ground by aspiring to do as much as is humanly possible. I think what I wanted to get at was like, what does that look like? In the world of design, when you go quantity over quality, the first thing you do is you have to go like, okay, I have to come up with more ideas. And you have to figure out how to get to a point where your more ideas are as good as your 1 to 3. And it requires you to turn off certain things. So for example, if you honestly believe that you need all the time allotted to you to do the one version, well then, yeah, how can you do more? But if you're like me and you think that all the time most people spend doing the one version can be largely qualified as fucking around, because they believe it takes that long, they have to spend that long on a project for it to be good. But if you actually believe that you can get 10 things done in the same amount of time, you have to cut down on a bunch of nonsense. Perfectionism, endlessly tweaking, endlessly revising. If you get to a quantity over quality place, the first thing you have to do is you have to have like a higher drive for substance. And then it's not to say that someone who does one thing is substance oriented, but it's to say that you come up with one idea, that's the substance, and then you just spend all this other time polishing it, stylizing it, presentation, theater, all of that kind of stuff. None of that stuff is inherently bad. But the thing is, like, to me, it's useless. I would rather have more of the substance and less of the other stuff for a variety of reasons, one of which is I have less attachment to them. So if I work on 10 things in the time that you work on one, I can't be as attached to them because I haven't worked them as hard. So when I go and meet with the client, I care less. There's that saying that like the strongest negotiator is he who cares less. Because you're cool, you can walk away. You become indifferent in a really good way. The other thing is the confidence that brings you. So you go like, stuff gets rejected, whatever. I only showed you 10. There's another 10. And once I use your feedback on why you don't like these 10, I'll whittle those down to 5. And I'm still in an awesome spot. The quantity over quality thing, it's like it requires different beliefs. It requires you to believe that most of the stuff that people are doing is a massive waste of time for you if you want to make that shift. You have to believe that work can take less time. And then you see some weird thing about how Elton John wrote whatever, Benny and the Jets in a half hour over breakfast and recorded it that afternoon. Like I remember reading an interview with Dave from Battles, and he was talking about how they had a tendency to overwork stuff that was already good. It was good at the beginning. I even just read a thing about some sneaker, and the design team did 300 prototypes only to come back with the idea that like one of the first 5 was where it was at. Now doing the 300 is helpful, no doubt, right? You like learn a bunch of stuff, you exhaust the possibilities. But does it also speak to an insecurity that where you were at right from the start may have been enough? Because I don't want to exhaust the possibilities in the micro. That to me is very boring and very irritating. I don't want to get into micro stuff until I'm positive and I'm good that this is basically done. Then let's worry about the micro. But like when it's in that beautiful phase of beginning it, I just want to be thinking substance. You know, if the average person can't tell a difference between the versions, then they're not different. They're just not. You're just like, you're spinning your wheels, you're being perfectionist. If it's quantity and quality. I just saw an interview with the rapper Russ talking about this. Like, you give a shit, you can do quantity and quality. You also understand that each step of the way is leading to the next thing. It's making the next thing even better than the current thing. All right, thanks a lot for watching.